What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Eastside Fly. I'm Eric G, and today we're going to be talking about why I think it is nearly impossible for the Orioles to make trades, and what I am seeing that if I was a GM of another team, I would not want to trade for these players, and kind of the reasons behind that. So let's just hop right into it. Let's not even waste time. So here are the people we're thinking about trading: Cedric Mullins. Now, I will say one thing about Seti is that he's got fantastic defense. So defensively, he is great. But let's look at these offensive numbers because this is grim. He has 42 RBIs, which is team leading. But the problem is, bro hits 213 with an OPS of 689. If I'm a general manager, I'm going, all right, so he's got a good glove, but he's really struggling in the box. Because 213 is embarrassing. So I'm sitting here and I don't think I risk that. I'm a defense first kind of person. But look, if you are looking to give up a lot of prospects for somebody, they're going to have to really bring it and be the person that you need to get to the next level. Playoffs is about defense. Playoffs wins defense wins championships in the playoffs. So you need to have fantastic people surrounding you they can play defense. But the problem is, it's a two-way sport. You got to play defense and be good on offensively. If you got a guy that can catch the ball, but every time he comes up, he's striking out. He was just 0 for 4 tonight with 4 strikeouts. That's doing nothing for the team. Yeah, you catching the ball, but you could probably find somebody that has a better bat and just a little bit worse on defense that could fill that spot. So how are you? What are we getting from Mullins? Nobody's gonna give up something that is going to be worthy of a trade to get this guy. No team's going to be like, yeah, let's give up some real top prospects, because let's be real, that's the only thing that's going to save this team. You might as well wait for the draft class to come up and sign these people, just as names people can go cheer on at the ballpark if you're the Orioles. So you gonna want top prospects. Nobody is gonna want that. Then you look at Ryan O'Hearn right underneath. Bro has cooled off dramatically. 280 with an 8.28 OPS. That's an all-star? Come on, stop playing. Stop playing. Not an all-star. Not an all-star. I'm sorry. Who's going to want this? He's a defensive liability, and you can't tell me otherwise. He lost the game single-handedly versus the Rays when we still were like, all right, 7.5 out. You can make a run. He's a defensive liability, and now his bat is falling apart. He was hitting around 300, 308 when he was like in the talks of All Star and then got picked. Since then, he just hasn't been good. He does, and he only has 36 RBIs. Mullins has more RBIs with a less batting average. So, like, this guy, defensive liability. He's good offensively sometimes, but he's slumping right now. Do you really want to take a chance on that? Trust me, both these guys, I love both these guys. Honestly, I'm hoping that nobody trades for him and we can sign him again for a cheap deal and get these guys as people in the clubhouse that can teach these younger guys coming up. But if I'm a general manager for an actual playoff team, you can't have this. Like, you really can't. And that's just how it goes. The young guys that they're pulling up from the minors are good. And yeah, a lot of the teams that we're seeing have successful full minor leaguers are high draft picks and high prospects. But like, I feel like they're just coming out the what works at every single team. So every team has top prospects. If you bring those guys up to fill in these positions, these are not positions that minor leaguers aren't gonna be able to play. So you could easily get probably better out of your prospects. So why would you trade them away? Why would you get rid of a good first baseman prospect for a guy that's saying, okay, like, that's a problem. Then you look at Urias, he's only hitting 248 and he's got a 6.67 OPS. How are you going to trade him? I mean, it's things like this that just how are you going to trade for this? Then you look at Adley Rutschman. Do you really want to trade Adley Rutschman? He's hitting trade for Adley Rutschman. He's hitting 227. And you could argue he was the turnaround for the Orioles. He should be a guy that's 100% a clubhouse guy and turns things around. But he didn't this season. So that's lost. And he's hitting 227. Do you really want Adley? Do you? Do you really want Adley? On the other hand, you have oh, is he not on here? Did I pack? Wait. Oh, Ramon Laureano is starting to hit. He's kind of the only guy that I could see possibly getting traded, but here's his problem. He hasn't been consistent. But I will say he's probably a guy that I would trade for. He's a guy that's going to turn your team around. He did have a pretty bonehead mistake tonight, but I think that Ramon Laureano was probably the only guy. 41 RBIs. He's got um a lot. Ooh, I did not mean to hit that. Apologies. He has a lot less at bats than guys like Cedric Mullins and Ryan O'Hearn, and is putting up numbers equivalent. So he's really the only guy that seems tradable. Now let's look on the pitcher side, because it's not just about the hitters. Those are the hitters. Let's look at the pitcher side. They're gonna keep growing. Charlie Morton, do you really want a guy with a 5.5 ERA in your fucking team when you try to play for the playoffs? No. I would see that as the general manager and be like, I'm out. 5.58. I don't care if he won five of his last six. He still has a 5.58 ERA. That's a problem. In 88 innings pitched, like that's a problem. Then you look at Sagano. He's got a 4.54 ERA. I mean, this is a problem. These ERAs are so high. The only guys that I really could see trading is Dominguez. He's got a 3.63. Brian Baker already got traded. Maybe you trade Zach Eflin. He's got a 5.9. Soto's got a 4. I believe Aiken is hurt right now, or we're not using him. And Cano, you cut. Trevor Rogers, you gonna keep because you can't have that trade go. All of these guys either have been cut or are injured, or their ERAs are too high. You look at all of these, it's insane. These ERAs are crazy. So on the pitching side, you can't get rid of anybody. And you're gonna. I know people are already typing in the comments. Felix Bautista, but he is a 2.6 as a closer. And I get it. He's coming off Tommy John surgery. But do the Orioles really want to lose their closer for next season? Because theoretically, you make these trades and you're getting people that are going to make the team better for next season. So why wouldn't you keep the closer that's going to be able to shut people down? He's going to be fully recovered for Tommy John surgery. If they trade him, it's a dumb decision. Because you still have a solid core. You need to build around that core, because this core single-handedly can't beat teams, and it's being proven this season. So build around them, and a part of that is keeping the players that are really good. But these pitchers, they're all terrible. He's the only good one that possibly could be traded, and it's a dumb decision too. So what do you do? What do you do? Hitting side. Again, it's just these averages. Ramon Laureano probably gets traded. I can't see Arias going anywhere. Maybe for his glove. But how do you trade these guys? This team is awful all around. So who would say, oh, I want a mediocre player from one of the worst teams in baseball? Yeah, I'll take that. But I got to give up top prospects because they're not going to want to let them go. So unless we're settling, which you can't be a seller and then settle. That's the dumbest shit I ever seen. So you have to basically decide how you're gonna play things off. And to me, it just doesn't make any sense. It makes no sense to get rid of these people for a bag of chips. Like, if you're gonna be a seller, you're gonna want top prospect. We're not gonna be able to trade anybody. So moving forward, I think that you need to basically sign these people on cheap contracts, because hey, we couldn't trade you because you were so bad, but we'll sign you for a minimum amount, keep these guys around the young core and build off of it. I think that's what you have to do, and you have to do that or ask for a lot in these trades and make these trades huge and fill in the spots that you need. You did well with the draft, but the draft is talking about years down the line. So you need to focus on next season. You gotta win a playoff game in the next 3 years. You have to. And if you don't, you're a failure of an organization. So they got to do something, but to sell and to not get anything for it would be the dumbest thing they ever done. So I think that it's gonna be hard for them to find teams to trade with. So we'll see what happens. I could be completely wrong. They could trade all these guys. But I think that it is gonna be it might be difficult. And I think that's why trades haven't happened already. So I think that it'll be interesting to see how it all unfolds. But as of right now, why would you want a mediocre player from the best team to give up key parts of your team? Because that's what we want. You need bullpen, everybody need bullpen. You need starting pitcher, everybody need. It's all the same things. So, I just think it's gonna be hard. This season has been terrible, but you gotta just focus on next season. You gotta focus on getting better, and we'll see if they can do that. Let me know in the comments if you agree, disagree. If you think that I'm right on point, if you think I'm completely off, let me know in the comments down below. We will see y'all in the next one. Peace.